Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain, where we talk about books, literature, drink coffee, and just hopefully have a pretty good time talking about books. I mean, hopefully that's why we're here, right? I don't know. Why are you here? Anyway, we are here. I am here because I have been reading a ton of books. I have books on my tablet. I have books on my phone. I have books in physical form. I have books everywhere. And I have been absent for a little bit of time. So I have kind of a backlog of books that I have been wanting to talk to you guys about. So the book that I want to talk to you guys about today is To a Darker Shore by Leanne Schwartz. Now, this book actually came out of nowhere for me, and I picked it up because I really liked the cover. There is this girl, and she is like got a crossbow in her hand, and she like her hair is blowing, and honestly, I was like sold. Yes, please, like NetGalley, if I am so worthy, please let me have an advanced copy of this book so I may read it and provide my honest review. This is my honest review. I have reviewed it also on Goodreads as well, so if anybody wants to find me over there, I think I'm Hope is an Anchor on Goodreads. I never actually dropped that into this. So yeah, if you guys want to find me on Goodreads, y'all can also see all the other things I'm reading as well. But I definitely gave this book 5 stars. I had such a fun time reading this book. I am going to read you guys the summary that is on Goodreads, just simply so you guys can kind of see where we're going with this book, and then I'm going to talk about it. Now, this book releases on April 30th of 2024, so right here in a few days, and it is about 320 pages, so not super long, but I thought it went incredibly fast. I had a great time with it. It falls into the genres, at least according to Goodreads, and I agree with it, of fantasy, young adult, romance. There are some themes of lesbian, queer, and LGBTQ. There is also some inclusion as well of autism and being plus size. So I definitely think that the diversity levels within this book they've tried to be a little more aware and tried to be a little more inclusive in the types of characters they were portraying. So Leanne, I think you did a great job. I had, like I said, fantastic time reading this book. And on to the summary. So I'm going to kind of read it over here from the tablet just so you guys can go find it on Goodreads as well. This is just the synopsis, and I may not read the whole thing. A Da Vinci-esque teen girl inventor on a Dante-esque journey through hell to save her best friend. Plain, poor, plus-sized, and autistic Alesta grew up trying to convince her kingdom that she's too useful to be sacrificed, like so many of her country's poorer, to appease the infernal monster across the poison sea in hell. When Alesta's attempts to prove herself go awry, her best friend and heir to the throne, Kirian, takes the blame, expecting leniency, and ends up tithed in her place. To end the sacrifices forever, Alesta plans to kill the monster that killed her friend. She travels to the depths of hell, only to find Kirian alive, but monstrously transformed. So, I'm going to kind of pause there, because I think from there we can take it and we can talk about this book. I will say it does fall into YA, but there is a little bit more adult theming than I probably was expecting. And I do find that Alesta, and this is just Alesta's our main character, they do not out and out say she's autistic in the book, but you can tell by the way she focuses, the way she interacts with her environment, that she is on the spectrum, and that she has an issue with like crowds, that she has an issue with people's attention on her. She also has like a hyper focus where it's very hard for her to, if she's working on something, then everything else around her is pretty much blocked out. Like she doesn't hear anything else going on because she's very hyper focused on those sorts of things. But she wants to feel worthy, and she's trying so hard to convince her kingdom that she is worthy to just stay alive. Now, her kingdom has this tithing process that has been in place for quite a long time where they have to, there's a tree, and I think it's called the Leah tree. Yeah, I believe it's the Leah tree. Um, and they will burn a piece of bark or smoke or something. And anyway, wherever the smoke goes, that person that's on that branch, like their names are kind of put on all these branches. Wherever that smoke goes, is tithed to the monster island, to hell, so to speak. And again, right there, I think you guys can kind of tell that there's probably something a little hinky about that. In my personal opinion, I was like, there's some priests and priestesses. I feel as though some of this is not all on the up and up, but she seems to stay just enough out of like the line of sight that people don't just try to get rid of her. She's also an inventor, and so she's constantly tinkering, constantly putting things together, trying to create something that can be useful to the kingdom. And she tries to create a flying machine. And she does, in fact, create one. So she decides she's going to bring it out on this particular day, this particular event that's happening. However, things go wrong, because not only does her contraption more or less fall apart in midair, it ends up hitting and injuring a noble. Well, Kyrian, even he is her best friend, he realizes if she takes the blame, she's going to be tithed. Like, there's almost no way she's not going to be. The sin will fall on her, because that's supposedly how they are chosen to be tithed, is through the sins they commit. But she will then pretty much be up for tithing that next cycle. Well, he takes the blame, thinking since he is the next heir to the throne, that he will receive some sort of leniency, perhaps a slap on the wrist or something. But that doesn't happen. He pretty much goes straight to the boats. They really don't even hardly do the process very well, it seems. The tithing seems very arbitrary at best, and away he goes on the boats. Well, he tries to call Alesta, saying, hey, he's convinced that he's like, she won't let me leave without saying goodbye. She's not going to stay away knowing that I did this, to try to help her. Well, of course, at that exact time in Alesta's life, her grandmother falls ill. She is the sole caregiver of her grandmother. And no one tells Alesta that Kyrian is on the tithing block, literally. So she doesn't know till almost a week later that Kyrian is gone, that he is on the island pretty much having been tithed to the monsters and to the island of monstrosities. So she blames herself, and for nearly a year works and plans on trying to figure out ways that she can undo what has been done. She even works with the current heir to the throne, and she works with a couple other individuals in the castle and the kingdom, some of the other nobles who seem to be on her side, but of course, not trying to give any spoilers away. I just want to let you know we're putting some seeds of doubt everywhere. We are planting this stuff, so trust no one. Everyone is sketchy. Everyone's suspect, so putting that out there. I will say it was such a good book. I had a great time. There is adventure, there is some sacrifice, and there is a little bit of romance. There is some love interest. I will say that this definitely does kind of the romance itself feels YA. That is where that feels kind of young, where they're still kind of feeling that out. And there's a secondary romance that seems to kind of be more of that magical romance. of where a lot of the issues came from. That is where we see some of the queer lesbian representation come up. So just throwing that out there. I don't know. Is that a secret? I hope not. If it's part of the theming, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. Like, it's in there. And I thought that was really cute. I thought that was well done. I definitely could see that, not as a driving force, but the anger behind why some of the characters do what they do. And so I thought that was well done by the author. I thought the characters were depicted well. Their growth through the story was well done. And I am just kind of like reading my own notes to see if I've missed anything. But I will say that was my only critique was that while everything else felt like it could have adult theming, the romance itself between Alesta and Kyrian felt a little young because both were fairly inexperienced. Both were probably intended to be kind of perhaps on the spectrum in their own right. But that is really not for me to know fully without the author fully telling me. But I would expect that that may be the case. But let's just say it's really cute. It is really cute. I would love to see more from this writer, this author. It was a surprise. Like I said, I picked it up solely for the cover art. It was a really cool cover art. And honestly, the Goodreads audience is giving it fantastic reviews. It almost has 4.5 stars still. And even though it's not out yet, I mean, I think when it comes out, I think it's still going to do very well. So I am crossing my fingers for Leanne Schwartz and hoping her all of the best vibes and well wishes as her debut novel. Let me make sure I'm saying debut novel and it's not like, oh yeah, I think this is like let's see, this is the author of the fantasy A Prayer for Vengeance and To a Darker Shore, as well as the upcoming adult rom-com My Kind of Trouble. So I guess she's also written one called A Prayer for Vengeance. So perhaps this is her second novel. But anyway, I think I may go find more of what she's written. I'm not certain about the adult rom-com. I might let my counterpart Hannah on the book podcast, Books Are Magical, that I have with my friends. I might let her read it and let me know about it because she is definitely my rom-com expert. And anyway, until next time, I will see you guys on the next page. I hope you have a fantastic day. Keep on reading, keep flipping those pages, and I'll see you next time.